Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Front Mission 5, Scars of the War. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Haven't posted too recently, and that's partially because I've been busy with real life stuff. Had lots of meetings and dinners and stuff I had to go to, and been traveling around and all that kind of thing. Some other things have been going on as well. Especially in the gaming world. I think you all know that this month has been really outstanding in terms of the game releases that have been coming out, and I did want to try to get in there and play some of these new releases. One of them was, of course, Pillars of Eternity. I was a Kickstarter backer of that game. I think it was maybe the first game I ever kickstarted, and I was so excited to get a chance to play it. So when I finally had some time to do some gaming this weekend, I finally just got to sit there and play it for 5 hours or something, and that was pretty awesome. I'm really impressed with that game overall, and if you haven't checked it out, you should go ahead and check it out. The other thing that's been going on is that, of course, Bloodborne came out, and I saw that Epic Name Bro has started a Let's Play of the game. And of course, if you're familiar at all with the Dark Souls series or the Souls series, you're probably familiar with Epic Name Bro. He's worked on the guide for Dark Souls 2 and now for Bloodborne. And he does some pretty fantastic Let's Plays. Certainly, I gotta say, he's better at it than I am. Just the narration, editing, everything is all really solid. So if you are at all interested in that series, I highly suggest you go check it out. He does a fantastic job of covering the lore and the gameplay. The only issue is that he often doesn't finish his Let's Plays, so probably some of you are fans of the Squaresoft days, Squaresoft games. He has a pretty cool Let's Play of Vagrant Story. But actually he never finished that Let's Play, which was really disappointing. So hopefully he'll finish this one. But anyway, just wanted to say that, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the world of gaming, so I have been a little bit distracted from this Let's Play. But I decided to tear myself away from Pillars of Eternity and come and do another episode of Front Mission 5, because I do like this game a lot, and I'm having fun with this Let's Play. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're back at Peseta Garrison. You'll notice we're no longer at Freedom Garrison because the USN has actually been pushed back from Freedom as we were defeated in that last battle. Now then, we're going to want to go to the mess hall to begin with, because there's a lot of important dialogue here to see. Alright, so Randy's talking to this guy, Edward, and we're going to find out who this Edward guy is. What should I say? How about, who the hell are you? Oh no! Yes, it's Edward. I wasn't making this up, okay? You're gonna think I'm some kind of weird pervert, but honestly, this is what it says in the Japanese dialogue. You can go ahead and check. I didn't just make that up. So your clothes, of course. Not wearing the same uniform as all the other grunts. Alright. The Strike Wyverns. Okay. And this is the first point at which Lynn is introduced in the game. She is a very important character. Alright, and this is another important piece of information. This is all actually quite important to understanding Lynn. So she's proof that people can change if they want to. She went from being bookish to being, you know, this incredible badass leader of this elite Marine unit. But why did that happen? So the kid who stole the book was probably Ed, I'm guessing. You know, he stole it from Lynn. Certainly it was Lynn they were talking about, because we know that she's bookish, and so this book must have been important to her. And the two kids who brought the book back to her were certainly Walter and Randy. Now, maybe Ed didn't steal the book. Maybe it was some other kid at the home. But nevertheless, the important thing is that Walter and Randy brought this book back to her. So she fell in love with one of the two boys, which would be Walter. And this is a little bit of foreshadowing here. A white dog, black, and gave it 2 heads. Now, I'm sure some of you are at least passingly familiar with mythology, so you know that a many-headed dog is often called Cerberus, or Kerberos, as some people would call it. I think that was maybe the Greek name. I'm not too sure. Anyhow, it's going to be an important symbol in this story as we go forward. So lots of plot development there. Now, you do have to talk to Ed first and then talk to Thomas in order to get that second RP. And we can talk to Brenda, who is, of course, also from Home 47. Right, so that is the esteemed Mr. Collins. What I do have to say about Ed is that translating his dialogue was by far the most difficult part of doing the translation of Front Mission 5. Because it is all in a lot of slang, and, given my sort of tenuous grasp of the Japanese language at the time that I was working on this, it was really, really difficult to figure out what he was saying. So I used to always say that the Ed sections of the dialogue were like the boss fights for me going through and translating this game. It doesn't maybe come out to the same extent in my translation, but yeah, definitely he talks in a lot of sort of, slang Japanese that is pretty hard to decipher. At least it was for me at the time that I was doing this. Anyhow, that is enough of the mess hall. Let's go ahead. I mean, there's one more dialogue we can do here, but it's really not that important. Yay, whatever. Let's go to the simulator room. So, you can see that we now have a new battle simulator unlocked, so I will go ahead and do that in between videos, just to get our units or characters up to snuff. But Daryl's back, so let's go talk to him. So we got three options here: a real name, Randy, or Billy Renges, who is in fact Daryl's friend from Front Mission 4. So it would be fun to choose one of these other ones, but you do have to choose this one. Now, I believe that in the DS version of Front Mission 1, if you play through on the USN side, you run into Daryl, I believe it is, yes, and I think you also run into Glenn, and I think their dialogues had something to do with each other. I could be wrong about that. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm certain you run into Daryl, and there's some dialogue, and I think Billy shows up there too. I can't remember properly if they have something to do with Glenn or not. There's definitely a part where you get to talk to Glenn, though. Okay, anyhow, let's go to the briefing room. Or actually... No, okay, let's go to the briefing room first. Alright, we'll talk to Mr. Brown. I should say Lieutenant Brown. So those who can conquer pressure will go on to become great soldiers, and as we were going to see, this is certainly something you can say about Walter Funk. Now, these guys are going to question that kind of interpretation of how the USN military is structured. And this guy is distrustful towards authority and tends to be confused for a drunk. So, doesn't have the best character. But we do, in fact, know from playing, you know, Front Mission 1, Front Mission DS, that the USN brass is not all that it seems. And there is something going on behind the scenes here that the soldiers should be a little bit distrustful of. So this guy, you know, he's a disciplined lieutenant, but yeah, maybe he's a little bit of a sucker. So they're going to attack Fort Monas. Now, you should recall that that is a battle from Front Mission DS, once again, you know, on the OCU side. Right. So he said that strikers are effective in links, and that is certainly the case. Using your striker effectively in the next mission is really the key to doing well in it. Okay, so we got a new pilot. Talk to our pilots. So Randy is planning to join the Strike Wyverns if he can get in. This is an important point to be aware of. Now, what do these guys have to say? So they're chatting amongst themselves. Of course it's you, the only one from the 21st class. Honestly, I can't remember what they're talking about. Sorry. You will recall that she was in the briefing at the beginning of the game, though. You know, she was part of our graduating class. So she's ready to join up. Oh. They have some other dialogue, I'm sorry I missed it. It's nothing too major, it's just like them talking about how the last mission was a close call, and they're kind of worried about what's going to happen in the future. As you would imagine. Alright, the last thing to note is that there are new parts at the hangar, so you can get those and add them to your collection. I'm actually going to do a save here. And then we can watch the briefing for the next mission. But I need to come back so I can do the simulator mission before the next battle. You want to go talk to the people at the hangar, maybe? I don't think they have anything all that interesting to say. We'll see. A mechanic from Freedom City. So you'll notice that these two guys are not the same two guys that normally are working on our Avanzers. So that's probably who they're referring to, the mechanic from Freedom City. Walter might be wondering what happened to his normal mechanics. You know, like whether they made it out of the city before being captured by the OCU. Alright, let's check out the briefing and then we'll wrap up this video.
Okaeri, Plot Buster. 土産はあるか？
ああ、なんか妙だ。奴ら数が減れば補充するくせに、俺たちが押されても一気に攻めてこない。
俺たちをなぶるのが目的なのか？
わからん。いずれにしろ、俺たちは命令に従うのみだ。
違いない。見極めの甘い間抜けな上官なら、俺たちは死ぬだけだ。
気合を入れろよ、ホワイトソックス。持久戦になるぞ。
了解。ゆっくり休んでくれ。単語6より各機前線到着とともに戦闘に入るぞ。現在前線は一進一退の攻防で敵増援部隊の到着も予想される。エリア内の全敵殲滅をもって任務完了とするが、今回は持久戦の様相が強いようだ。各機セットアップとともにアイテムの補給も忘れるな。健闘を祈る。
Take a look at the enemies. Once again, they're just the OCU ground defense forces. And you'll see, yeah, they've got strikers and assaults, gunners, and some tanks. And there are reinforcements that appear in this mission. It's not a terribly difficult mission. If you can complete it within like 14 turns, I think, you do get a bonus. I have to check that out, but I believe that's what it is. Right, so yeah, the only thing about that last cinematic there, there's that weird comment about white socks. I think it's basically just, you know, the guy on the way back from the front lines, you know, saying that Walter's like white socks. He's giving him the nickname White Socks. It's because, you know, he's fresh, he's rested, and he's got some quote-unquote clean clothes on. He's ready for battle, as opposed to the guys from the front who are all exhausted. That's really all that was about, I do believe. Maybe a common expression in Japanese, but I haven't heard it that frequently. Nevertheless, that's what I believe it's all about. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that video. The next one, we will take care of the this battle at the front lines, holding the line. It is the first battle in which we can use links. I'm not lying this time, it really is. And that makes it a whole lot more fun than the ones that have come before it. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So, until then, I hope you have enjoyed the video and you will watch the next one. Goodbye.